This chapter is really action-packed, and it really kind of highlights and showcases just how good Sasuke is, even at this point, this early in the game.
Naruto numero 24, speed.
What the hell?
Our comedy ninja maverick showstopper, huh? Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Naruto Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, your head nerd, here to bring you another review on the awesome, mind-bending, action-packed tale of Naruto. Our last chapter saw us with really the main focus kind of being on Naruto and him saving Tsunami. As well as Inari, of course, from those two Gato's two thugs, and then at the end of the chapter, we presume that he's obviously going to go and try to join the fight here with Sasuke, and Sakura, and Kakashi, who are protecting Tazuna from, of course, Haku and Zabuza. So that's where the chapter left off. This one, though, and it picks up right where we left off, kind of at the beginning, I guess, of last chapter, where it's Sasuke has kind of been let off the leash, so to speak, by Kakashi, and as well as Haku, and they're going to go toe-to-toe. So it's very cool to see this, and the way the action is depicted in this chapter, very, very neat, and I hope that I pick up and wrap my mind around all of it. I have started watching the anime, but I'm only a few episodes into it. And I'm sure that some of those episodes will give me a better idea of the action and the way it's depicted, but it's drawn very well. And it's kind of cool because things start out, and you have the two of them are fighting and going at it, for, I don't know, we presume a few seconds, a minute, I don't even know. But the point is that Sasuke is holding his own in a contest of speed at this point, against Haku, and Haku is presumed to be very, very fast. And Sasuke he's able to hold his own. And so anyway, there's water all over the ground, though, because obviously we know that that's where their ninjutsu, it seems like a lot of their arts and techniques are water-based. But nonetheless, though, there's water all over the ground, and Haku goes and explains, like, you may be fast, but you're not going to be able to keep this up forever. I've just pinned one of your hands, so you only have one free hand to defend against me. And it basically explains that there's two attacks that have been set forth, or two things that have been set in motion. The other one's all this water that's around. So Sasuke goes, and he's still, holding his own, despite even just having the one hand. And then Haku goes to take and turn that water into these, like, spiked ice crystals to come up and obviously, jab into his feet and his legs and eventually him, And it's kind of neat to see as this technique starts to get performed, we go and we see Sasuke and his focus of chakra and what he's learned, obviously, just recently with their training and what have you, about focusing all that chakra into your feet. And he's able to do that, and I presume he's able to do that to go and to actually kind of, to protect himself from this, this kind of ice crystal spike spell that's coming up, So all of a sudden everything's just like, and Haku just jumps away, hops back. But Sasuke's not there, right? And now remember, Haku's talking about, I'm so fast, And whenever somebody's talking shit about that, somebody's going to come and best him on that stuff, right? So anyway, so then Haku can't find him, and he's jumping back, and he's like, as he's hopping back, he's like firing shurikens everywhere, right? Thinking that maybe, I'm assuming, thinking that maybe Sasuke went and was able to, obviously use his ninjutsu to actually, not clone himself, but, make himself into, part of the surroundings somewhere, right? And it's kind of neat because you see Haku on the defensive, for a couple of seconds there. And then Sasuke goes and appears, and Sasuke's like, yeah, sorry, you're not that fast. And then in the next several pages, it's a, it's just this awesome depicted action of them just going at each other, but ultimately Sasuke getting the upper hand. And I like how Sasuke went and played the mind games, too, because part of what you do when you're in any type of altercation, even when I was in the martial arts, when I was in Taekwondo, and we would go to different tournaments and things like that, part of what you do when you're facing off against an opponent is mental. A very big part of it is mental. The physical part of it, yeah, you have to have the speed and the endurance and everything else, but I wound up winning against guys that were bigger, faster, stronger than me, and a lot of times it was because of the mental damage that you would do to them, A lot of times it was letting them believe that they were better than you and that they had you or that you feared them, and then using that to their advantage, because then they would go and make an error in technique, or they would overextend themselves thinking, yes, I'm better and I know it and he knows it, And it's really cool to see Sasuke with that attitude, that swagger, so to speak, and be able to back it up, because Sasuke's just like, he goes and he throws them, you're not that fast, you know? So just to let you know there, brother, you're not that fast. And I just love how the whole thing's depicted. So it was great because Haku winds up getting knocked on his ass, you know, and kind of slid back over there. And you see, you know, Kakashi's, and it was great too, because Kakashi's just like, after you get the whole you're not that fast, Kakashi's like, you know what? You deserve that. You try to go and call us names and everything else. You know, Sasuke may not look like much, but he was head of his class and, you know, the best in the village and everything else. And Sakura, you know, has mastery over her chakra. She's very smart and intelligent. And Sakura's like, yes, I am. And then he goes in and he does that thing. And then we've got our wild card, right? Our comedy showstopper. Our, what do you say? Our maverick showstopper comedy ninja is what I think he refers to Naruto as. And I'm like, he's the game changer, right? You know, it's just so funny how he refers to him as. So then you go and you wind up having, there was one point too in the battle that I think is worth noting, that Haku, you know, I don't know if this was like I'm assuming this was like a troubled kid, a kid that had lost everything, that Zabuza took advantage of, and obviously now has kind of under his, you know, his guise and his protection. It's kind of mind fucked this kid, right? Because this kid at one point when he's fighting Sasuke is like, you know what, you should give up. I really don't want to kill you, you know. And I think it's worth noting because a couple pages later, when Haku's starting to lose, you see Zabuza and he kind of has a little inner monologue. He's like, I wonder if he really meant that about not wanting to kill him, you know, like I'm trying to have like a ferocious beast, a dog that's going to come after you no matter what, you know. I don't want somebody that's going to think like, well, I don't really want to have to kill you, or, you know. So it's kind of neat to see that dynamic, you know, between Haku and Zabuza as well, you know, what's actually going on, what's being said, what's being thought. So very cool stuff. So then we go and we get this thing where, you know, Zabuza's like, you realize that if this keeps up and you lose, that you could die to this, you know, you could lose and die to this this kid or whatever. And Haku's like, yes, I understand, you know. So then Haku goes and pulls out, and I don't know if the translations, you know, are different, because I know some of the things like with the art of the doppelganger, it's shadow clone jutsu and everything else. But this is cool though, because secret art of water, ice crystal magic mirror technique. And although that doesn't really sound that awesome, the way it's drawn and depicted, I thought, was very, very cool. And this technique, I thought, was also worth noting and talking about, because Kakashi looks at it and it's like, whoa, I'm not even familiar with that technique, right? And here's the guy who's, you know, it's rumored that he's mastered over 1,000 techniques, you know. Obviously, this isn't one of them, and this young kid, Haku, actually possesses the ability to do this technique. The bottom line is, though, anybody who's ever seen Conan the Destroyer, great movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, back in the 80s, there is a part where he goes into this room and there's these mirrors all around him, and there's this wizard, and the wizard is fighting against him, and what he ultimately has to do is destroy the mirrors, because the wizard's able to jump in and out of the mirrors, right, as this kind of like demonic beast. This is very similar to that in the sense that Sasuke winds up being enclosed by these mirrors that are all wrapped around him, and the reflection of Haku is in each one. And I don't know if there's all clones in there, or if he's able to move in between each, you know, clone and actually come out and attack him. I just know that he starts, you know, being able to come at and get the upper hand against Sasuke again, and able to hit him, and able to do this, able to do that. And as Kakashi goes, and he's going to go, like, towards it, like, well, I'm going to break this shit up, right? Zabuza's like, remember who you're fighting, buddy, and gets up in his face. Yeah, you know, and he says, you know, let the boys play over there while we take care of our business, you know. So now Kakashi's obviously, you know, he's been stopped over there and been thwarted. So Sasuke's still protecting Tazuna like she's supposed to, you know. And towards the end of the chapter, Sakura is protecting. I apologize about that, my mistake. So time out, rewind. Sasuke is in the magic mirror ice palace thingy, okay? Like, you know, just kind of getting cut up and beat up. Sakura rhymes with chakra. No, Sakura is actually protecting Tazuna. So, nonetheless, she is told by Kakashi, you know, or to, you know, make sure you protect Tazuna. Obviously, Kakashi is now, he's busy, you know, with Zabuza, and Naruto is on his way, we presume. So, but Sakura can't let anything happen to her lovely little Sasuke, right? So she goes and she's like, you know what, tells Tazuna, listen, I gotta get involved in this shit. I can't just stand around. Tazuna's like, it's cool, don't worry, I'll watch myself. I'll protect myself, you know? So she goes and she takes and fires one of her kunai, you know, at the mirrors over there. I'm assuming, you know, hoping that she can break one of them, distract something, whatever, you know? She just wants to save her love, Sasuke, right? So she fires one of them at there, and it gets caught by Haku, right? And she's, oh man! And then all of a sudden, a shuriken comes out of nowhere. You know, and we wind up seeing the whole depiction of everything that winds up happening after that. I thought was just done well. Here we get So we get, you know, obviously Sakura goes and tosses that thing at Kunai. He catches it, this and that. You know, you see Haku going in and out of these different mirrors, and all of a sudden, splat, you know. And then you go and you see, like, the smoke and everything like that, just, you know, like this big major entrance. And it's so funny because then we go and we see Sasuke over here, that idiot show off, and he's laying, you know, it looks like he's laying down on the ground because obviously he's been getting nailed over here. Haku, the Maverick Showstopper, comedy down. And then all of a sudden we got Uzumaki Naruto at your service. Anyway, sorry, the lighting over here outside, bad shadows. I'm trying to look and see over there. But I love this whole thing and his entrance, you know. He could have been a little more subtle with his entrance, I think. But I definitely like the whole theme of this one with him, you know, the just that everybody kind of having their strengths and that sort of thing. So, but that's how the chapter ends up. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts at this point that we've seen anyway on Haku and some of the moves and some of the talents and techniques that he possesses? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Winter is coming. Man, I don't know where you live, but winter already here. Son of a...